this is how Winky did a documentary presenting Winky. It all started with Venture Winky. Venture Winky was a title character in 1970 that was created by David Daniel Williams. He created it in Pasadena one day while he was drawing. He created a comic company called DWC back then. DWC. I'll call it DWC, or David Williams Creations. Comic books, characters, and cartoons. DWC was a major company that he created, but it was imaginary at the time. In 1970, Daniel Williams created Venture Winky. Winky consisted of 2 eyes, hair, a head, mouth, nose, a lip, and 2 ears, with a baby diaper, and actually an action adventure and a lot of stories, short stories. He even produced them in school. He would also draw characters on books in the corners of the tops and the insides. He would then flip them and have cartoons that he looked at as a little boy and look at them and enjoy them. Now, it's not suggested that little kids do this to their books, but Daniel did it to his books. You could do it to phone books or something that somebody doesn't really want, but you can have little cartoons in the corner. And I got that idea because back in the 1970s, back in 1972, 1973, 1974, there were little flip books that had cartoons in them. When you read the story, you could see a little cartoon as you flipped them, and I really liked them. I tried to make my own. So as I did that, the cartoons would look something like this. They would move progressively and be real simple. Now, Winky eventually developed a tooth, but the tooth left him eventually, and the final design looked more like another one. But in 1985 and 1990, going up, Winky would turn into not Winky, but Venture Winky. Now, Venture Winky had a comic book, but that comes later on. That was Crumble, the robot, coming out of the ground. And then Winky would run from things. He would be running, and he would be fighting, and he would be doing things like battling things. Now, Cosmo Quest was one from 1985, 1990. But going back to the older times, 1970, it seems that we had the sketch of Winky going from the tooth to the no tooth to the winking Winky to being in the computer in 1970 and actually being like a computer, you could say he was a computer adventure. He went in there and the graphics would attack him. So it was a really fun thing in 1970 when I made those up. Now going back to the later images, we had Manny Mines doing things to Winky as a baby though, too. But in this picture, his head was busted open. Now, the head does look busted open. With the brains on the outside would look kind of gory, so I didn't want to use it. So I have a brain cap on him now. But I changed it from being as bad. But he was just a many minds of representations of certain things in real life. So, I mean, you get it, and it makes sense, and it goes into a whole bunch of tangents of fun and exciting adventure. And that's how Winky did it. That's how Winky was made. A documentary about Winky, Venture Winky, a little tiny baby boy that had a lot of winking, fun, happy adventures. Now, the adventures weren't always fun and exciting. Some of them were serious, some of them were crazy. But he went on those adventures and he overcame the evil, or he faced the evil or faced the bad and did good, or he faced the bad and ran away and he came back to fight it more. So look at the Adventures of Winky, the Adventures of Winky related material, Converse Comics related material, and this is copyrighted by Converse Comics 2004 Comics. So that's Winky for you, Venture Winky or Winky in a diaper.